Swerdlow, hyperspace intuitive and deprogrammer. And today on our health segment, we're going to talk about end times programming. Now, end times is basically, for all intents and purposes, the script that is written in the book of Revelation. We must remember that the Bible, and especially the book of Revelation, was written by the Illuminati families back in 330 AD at the Council of Nicaea, when it was put into the Bible and the entire New Testament was changed and altered to suit the Holy Roman Empire. And so right now in 2011, everything is being turned on. All the switches are being flipped, and anyone who has programming, which is every single one of you out there, is being triggered and activated into end-time programming. But before I go into any more detail on that, what is the difference between a trigger and an activation? Because there is a difference. It's all under the umbrella of programming. When you are triggered, that means a word, a color, an event, a sequence of events, a number, or even any kind of sequence of words clicks something in the mind pattern in the programming matrix so that a function is then performed, or you go into a programming alter that has a specific personality and subpersonality. An activation, or what you may have heard as a full-blown activation, is when the triggers cause the programming to go into full force, full use, and you really go into that alter, and then you're not the same person that you used to be, and nor can you remember the other person that you used to be. Most people have no memory of their original personality because they're constantly being triggered into an alter activation. So, end times is about what? Installation of New World Order, New World Religion, staged alien invasion, a whole host of things which you can read about and watch on my DVDs and in my books. However, for right now, you need to learn about how do you know what your function is in end-time programming. A very simple exercise in deprogramming that you can do is very simple. First, balance your T-bar at your pineal gland, or use a royal blue circle and dot at the pineal gland at the center of your head to balance the left and right hemispheres of the brain. Put your body in and out in a violet color. This is like an amethyst color, as you can see on the top, and that is the same color as your crown chakra, which is at the top of your head to filter and protect energy. Once you've accomplished that, then take the words end times in capital block brown letters, and we're going to use brown. It's very important because it tells you what's happening now in the present moment. So end times in brown capital block letters here at your pineal gland. You're just going to look and watch. See what comes up. Don't presuppose anything. Try to be in an environment that's quiet, where there's not too many disturbances that might affect what you're thinking at the moment. Do it at a time when you're in total silence and undisturbed. Keep careful notes about what pops up into the mind pattern. Even if something sounds bizarre or ridiculous, you never know what influence it might have in your programming. You might have uncovered a trigger for yourself. So no matter what comes up, write it down. Nothing is too extreme or ridiculous when it comes to deprogramming, because the whole thing is quite bizarre actually. Do this for a series of days, even weeks, until finally you're just not getting anything more. Look at your notes. Review them. Everything that came up, you're going to write down very in detail. That's going to give you a clue as to what to do next. Where do you go from this point on, based on the information you received on end times programming within yourself? The notes that you keep and your journals will direct you on what you should be doing next and what categories of deprogramming you should be doing next. And of course, if you have any difficulties, you can always contact me at expansions.com. That is what my work is as a hyperspace intuitive and deprogrammer, to help you accomplish the connections to your real, true core self and to stay that way. Next on our health segment is about saunas. And there's been a lot of question in the last few years about what kind of sauna people should be using. And right here behind me is a far infrared sauna, which we've been using almost every day for the last couple of years. It's a very strong health encouraging and immune system boosting protocol. It's a very simple object, really. It's like a little booth cabin. This one is made for 3 or 4 people, and it's made out of poplar wood. Poplar wood is considered to be the most pure, non-toxic wood that you could possibly get. Very often when you go into a regular sauna, it's made out of cedar, and we're going to see that a little bit later. And cedar does sometimes have a bit of toxins in it, so when you get the heat and the air all mixed up together, it can put toxins into the atmosphere and environment. Now with the infrared sauna, I'm just going to turn it on briefly here. You can see inside there are vents around the entire complex of the cabin that put the far infrared waves into the body. It kills bacteria, viruses, microplasmas, anything that's in the body that shouldn't be there will be eliminated. With this infrared sauna, though, you must be very careful. You can't just go in, turn it on, and sit there for a half an hour. You could fry yourself. It could be almost like a microwave heat. So you have to start out very slowly. You have to build up just a couple of minutes at the beginning. You start out at 98 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to work your way up daily, adding a couple of minutes each time to 130 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. And then you're going to stay at that level for about 30 days to 45 days, depending on whatever conditions that you need to eliminate. And so this far infrared sauna is portable. It can come apart. You can reassemble it someplace else if you're going to be moving. I like to turn this off because I don't want it to go on right now. We'll turn it off. You can see the controls are pretty simple, digital to control. There is a vent here in the door, so you don't have to feel like you're trapped. There is air that can go through. There's a window that you can look at, and even on top, there's a way to plug in your iPod and hear music inside. I just prefer to read in there after the 30 minutes are up, and then I keep books nearby, and I go through a lot of my library that way. So now that we've seen the far infrared sauna, let me show you the regular sauna so you can see the difference between the two of them.